Good morning, everyone. I am currently just admitting people, giving everyone a few minutes to hop on in.
Good morning, Kristin.
Good morning. How's everyone doing today?
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
That was Reagan and Rhett.
Aw. All right, we'll wait just another minute or so. People are still joining, and then we'll go ahead and get started. This is exciting because I recognize quite a few people here from other events that you have attended. So I'm excited that this was of interest to you also. This is a really fun, newer event that we're doing, hopefully quarterly. So yeah, exciting. But if you have a minute and are home and you want to grab a drink, light a candle, get comfy, cozy, really dive into this self-care Sunday mentality. I'm drinking coffee right now. It would be a Bloody Mary if I wasn't hosting, but all right, we'll go ahead and get started. So thank you all for joining today. I think, if I'm not mistaken, because not everybody's on camera, I think we have, of course, all spouses, but I believe there are a few men that have joined us today as well, which is exciting. I do like to let people know to feel free to be on your camera. We get the most out of this event by being able to see each other and interacting. But again, thank you for joining. This is in honor of Military Spouse Appreciation Day and Mother's Day that just passed. So again, an exciting way to get spouses together. I believe we have some active duty as well, to just talk about some self-care Sunday topics and network with one another and build each other up. We're in a unique position as military spouses. So let's talk about what we like, the expectations for our event. I like these to be pretty, I don't know, community style. Like I said, participating is big, but one of the first things that I would like you to do is if you could please enter your full name as you registered in the chat box. I used this for the prizes at the end and to confirm participation. So prizes are given to active participants. Again, we want everybody to communicate, be part of this. We're not in person yet. Hopefully our next Self-Care Sunday event will be in person now that, you know, some restrictions have been lifted. But let's participate and make this as, you know, in-person community as we can. And like I said, if you could stay on camera, if that works for you, that would be great. Again, just kind of building that community of us actually all being here together. You do not have to stay on mute unless you have background noise going on. And of course, we just want to be respectful. So to start with, who is got something fun to drink out there? Let's get chatty. Anybody?
We actually have a birthday party to go to, so no drinks for me.
I feel like that's a reason to have a drink.
Yeah. Well, we have to drive like 30 minutes to Chesapeake, so.
Okay, maybe not then. Well, I have a giant cup of coffee right here that is giving me life this morning. So.
But I always had that spoon.
All right. Well, hopefully we're going to get a little chattier because it'll make this a little more fun, everyone. But I'll go through the agenda next, just so you guys know what to be looking forward to today. We'll start with introductions. And then if you are a local participant and picked up your bag of goodies, we'll go through some of the items that are in there. After that, we'll talk about the prizes, which we have 4 amazing prizes today, sponsored by Duncan as well as Brian and Stratton. So really excited about those. And then we will do a Q&A, some self-care discussion on what we can do as spouses to kind of build ourselves up and take care of ourselves in, ways that we can share, obviously, and with items in our bag and different events that we can do for ourselves. And then after that, we will talk about mindfulness with our amazing guest, Kayla. And then we will draw for the prizes before we close out. So that's what we're looking at. We have an hour and a half set aside for this today. If we, don't take the whole hour and a half, it'll probably be if people aren't participating. Please participate. Like I said, makes this a lot more fun when we do. So I will start by introducing myself for those of you who do not know me. Let's see if I can unshare my screen real quick. There we go. Awesome. So my name is Kristin Seleccio. I am the program and volunteer coordinator for the USO. This is one of my favorite events to do. It's new, but it's great, like I said, to have everybody together. I'm also a military spouse. I'm the ombudsman for my husband's ship. I'm in school full time. And I just started working at the farmer's market. So ladies, I am keeping busy. But my hat is off to everyone that does all of that, plus has kids, because I don't know how you do it. But I'd love to get to know everybody that's in here as well a little bit. So in the chat box or with the reactions, we're gonna raise our hand or raise your hand in the video. But where are our active duty moms and spouses at? Awesome. Got a few. Cool. All right. Who is a Navy representative here? My husband's Navy. Awesome. How about Army? I know I saw some Fort Eustis and I saw some Fort Lee registrations. Awesome. Quite a few Army. Any Marine Corps? Marines out there? Looks like we have a couple. Awesome. Welcome, ladies. Thank you for joining. Coast Guard? One? I think I see one Coast Guard. All right, awesome. I love when we get to represent all the branches. And I know we have a Space Force, right? Maybe almost Space Force.
My husband will be joining the Space Force later this year. Yep.
I was like, okay, Leslie, I was totally thinking of you too.
Almost.
Like, I know your husband's like going Space Force. Maybe we had another one in here, but exciting.
Yep. Air Force.
National Guard. Who am I missing? National Guard? Any National Guard? I don't think so. If I'm missing someone, I don't think. I think that was all 6. Awesome. Let's have you in the chat box. Where do you call home? So for me, of course, I live here in Virginia Beach. I grew up in Wisconsin, so Wisconsin holds a piece of my heart. And then I spent 10 years in San Diego. So San Diego, Wisconsin, home for me. What about you guys? San Diego, yes.
Florida's home for us.
Yes, Guam. Hey, I love that. We have people from all over the place. This is wonderful.
For me, Puerto Rico is my home.
Yay. Awesome. We have people from all over. Got Bay Area, Japan. Yes, awesome. It's always fun to like meet somebody too that's from where you're from, especially as military spouses, because we're such a hodgepodge, you know, from all over the place. I know I always love my Midwesterners. I saw Indiana in there. Midwest, yes. Awesome. So if you received a bag, if you want to go ahead and grab that, has anybody used any of the items out of their bag yet? I know there's chocolate in there.
Yes.
I ate the chocolate.
Yes. You can
Somebody
wait on
used the
chocolate when
chocolate,
it's
just not
there.
me.
So we got these super
tinted
cute.
chapstick.
Yes, awesome. Okay, well, feel free. I would love for some people to grab things out of the bag and use them now and talk about what it is, or if you already have used it and want to describe something about it. We have these T-Mobile bags. Some of us got black bags. Some of us got really cute pink ones, but we're really excited. T-Mobile always gives us these awesome bags for this event. And they make a nice little sandwich bag or produce bag. But let's see, somebody said they used the tinted chapstick. Do you want to describe it? How you liked it?
Yes, that was me. I already opened my, oh, it just fell out of my hand. I opened my tinted chapstick. Sorry about my throat. I went to Busch Gardens and was screaming like crazy.
Oh my gosh, that sounds like a great time.
It was awesome. But yes, the tinted chapstick. So I feel like when I put it on my lips, my lips feel totally hydrated and they're not like chapped and they're just moisturized. Plus, like, you know, you don't have to put a lipstick over because it's tinted. So like, watch. I feel like I'm doing a tutorial, but
I love it. I love it.
Look at the difference.
It is great. And what I love about this is the color looks good on like everyone because it's not too overbearing. It really just gives like just a little oomph. And yeah, I know I've put chapstick on over lipstick before. Worst idea ever because then it's like everywhere. So tinted chapstick, I love it. So we always get this and it's one of my favorite things to share with everyone. Let's see. So I'm going to try and keep up with the chat, you guys, but feel free to come off a mute if you want to talk, because I can, you know, like playing the dance of trying to see your faces and read and, you know, but we have bath bomb ingredients in the jar. So we'll roll over these in a little bit, but that's what's in here. Did anybody use the little Sephora face mask yet? Somebody want to use it while we're on this call?
I didn't get a bag because we were in Florida, so I'm gonna be a little bit absent for talking about the stuff in it.
Oh, that's fair. I have your bag for you, Mallory. So
Yeah, I was actually out of town too. I registered and then I unregistered, like, because I had to be out of town. So.
Oh, if that ever happens, just so you know, for any of you, if that ever happens, you can always email me or whoever's contact information is on there, and we'll always hold it for you. As long as you let us know.
I only unregistered like the day before, so I don't know if you guys ended up giving it out or not, but
I'll check and see if we have an extra bag.
Okay,
I'll see if there's any left over, because I know with the crazy gas shortage, a lot of ladies were not able to pick up bags on time.
Oh my goodness.
What a week.
Guys,
Awesome.
I'm gonna put the mask on, guys.
Yes, let us know
I'll
how you
try
like it. Is it
Right.
Laura?
Yes, I'm gonna go for it.
Yay. Yeah, Sephora gave us some really cool stuff. Also in your bag, there is a nice little, like almost a full sample. I mean, it's like small, but there's like this real nice crayon pencil eyeliner, which I'm surprised I haven't used this yet because I am all about that eyeliner. But has anybody used that and seen how it works? I thought it said it was waterproof too.
So the eyeliner I'm wearing right now, I don't know if you can see it, but
Nice.
so
Yes.
top and bottom.
Oh,
Like all I wear is eyeliner and mascara and lipstick, but I really like it. It's applied really easy, nice and smooth, clean lines. I don't usually like, I don't like doing it with like the sorry, I am makeup illiterate. I am a tomboy. I just like wearing makeup, like because I am a tomboy. So I am lacking in my makeup skills. Feel free to come help me if you have better skills than I do. But the like little brush that people use to do like the gel, I'm really bad at it. So I like pencils and the liquid brush. I like doing those. But this is actually applied really smooth. And gave me a great defined line. So really good.
Awesome. And I love that it's waterproof because we know how hot and humid it gets here.
Oh yeah.
Whew.
Yeah, no, this is, I actually wear this a lot. This is one of my go-tos. This and the Maybelline waterproof. So this is
Awesome.
cheaper.
So I did see that somebody said that they didn't get an eyeliner. Some of the bags are slightly different. There's a different item from Sephora in there or a different makeup item. So if it is, your bag may be slightly different. Everything that we get in these bags for the most part is donated by our sponsors. So sometimes the quantity, we don't get the full 150. So there are slight variations in some of the bags. So I do apologize if you didn't get the eyeliner. How are you liking that mask so far?
I like it. It's actually pretty moisturizing because a lot of clay masks can go on very dry. But it feels like it's kind of hydrating at the same time, which is surprising.
Nice. I'm excited to see how you like it after as well. Cool. So also in those bags, we had some scrunchies that were donated, which are always a fun little thing to have. Trying to see what else we got in here. Of course, the chocolate. And then, yeah, those bath bomb ingredients. So let's go ahead.
I tried the lip scrub. It was really, really good. I was surprised my lips were so dry. I didn't know they were dry until I used the lip scrub. And it just kind of like exfoliated it and the dry skin just came like right off. So it was awesome.
That's awesome. What I love too is like the little container, because I'm a little bit of a tree hugging hippie over here and I love to like save everything and not throw stuff away. But what's cool is you can actually make your own lip scrub too. So, after you use this one, basically coconut oil and sugar. So then you have the cute little, package, I guess, to reuse it in, to have it again. But it's one of those things I don't think we usually are like, oh yeah, let's buy a lip scrub, right? But it is just like you said, like it's so nice to have that kind of like different experience. Lips. Now that our face masks are able to come off, right? Maybe not on base yet. I think the mask restrictions just got lifted. So now we got to like make sure we got, lips looking good. Finally seeing some sun. Anybody else try anything in the bag that they want to chat about?
I use the mascara and it's super good. I usually use just this one mascara, and then when I tried this, I actually seen a difference because I just like that my eyelashes look big. So this is awesome.
Oh, yay. And what is that eyeliner? Or I'm sorry, do you want to describe what the mascara is? Because I know not everybody got them.
It's a Tarte High Performance Naturals. And yeah, it's like a miniature size, so you can just bring it around anywhere. I keep it in the little plastic because I just like the gold and the pink contrast on it. But yeah, I carry it in my bag and it's super convenient because it's so small and you can travel with it.
Love it. Awesome. Loving everybody sharing, laughing at the scrunchie that was stolen real quick, Julie. All right, so I'm going to talk about prizes because I know that is one of the most exciting things about coming to this event. So if you didn't get a T-Mobile bag, if you weren't able to pick one up, everybody in here, as long as you are local, qualifies for a gift. One of the prizes. And like I said, we have 4 prizes today, which is really exciting. 2 of our prizes, they're going to be similar. It's a 31 bag stuffed with all kinds of goodies. There's lotions, there's a box of chocolate from the Royal Chocolate, which is a really cute shop here in Virginia Beach. trying to think what else is in there. There's wine. So as long as you're 21 or older, you qualify for the wine. And again, I just have to repeat that this is for local participants only. I know I saw that some people were in like Texas and elsewhere. We can't ship the prizes. So unfortunately, if anybody is not local, please let me know in the chat box. You can message me directly or however. But so that's 2 of the prizes. We also have a really cool gift basket that was donated by Duncan. So there's all kinds of good stuff in there. There's like a cute cup, gift cards, like all kinds of sweet Duncan swag. And then the grand prize, which is the most exciting, I wish I could win, but is a spa day giveaway sponsored by Bryant and Stratton. So it will be a location near you. So it's not determined until we know who the winner is. Obviously, because we have people from Richmond down to Virginia Beach, but it's worth around $250. And depending on what spa it is that you get, it's like 6 services. So super exciting. Yes, honestly, thank you to our sponsors. They are amazing. So we are very grateful to have Brian and Stratton, Duncan, Sephora, all these different partners that come to help us out, military spouses, military members, everything. It's awesome. So we are going to, let's see.
Kristin, can you tell us what type of essential oil this is? Is it lavender?
So this little guy goes along with your bath bomb ingredients, but it is lavender, and then there's like a vanilla oil in it. Now, I will say I saw a few of these that were in my car after the bags got dropped off. So if you happen to be missing the little vial, it's oil and essential oil. So if you have coconut oil, you can use olive oil. Basically, any oil that you can put on your skin will work. So I do apologize if that, I had like 3 of them that fell out. So,
excuse me.
Yes.
Is this the bath bomb?
Yeah, so that's going to be the bath bomb ingredients.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll chat about those in a little bit about what exactly is in there and how to use them. And I see, I wish people's names just kept showing up here. Is it Chably? I see you shaking yours. So mine hardened. So we're going to talk about that too. So if yours is hard, don't worry. Some still testing what the best thing to put these in, and rather give you something that's reusable than throw away. So, but yeah, we'll talk about those in a bit. But for now, we are going to come over to our self-care. So let me share my screen with you once more. We're going to do a little Q&A, if you will. So like I said, with this, I would love people's feedback. I can chat all day, ladies, and talk your ears off, but I want you all to chat as well and connect with each other. Again, that's kind of what makes these events more fun, being involved rather than just sitting, because we get a lot of time behind the computer. So first, who here has been a military spouse the longest? Let's throw some time out there. I've been married to my husband for 3 years, so I don't think I'm the longest by any means, but who has been a military spouse for the longest?
It's 7 years here.
All right. Anybody more than 7 years?
7.5.
Oh, I see some 11 years in the chat.
11 years here also.
15
Awesome.
years in July, sorry.
Ooh. Awesome. Anybody more than 15 years? All right, Yvette, that sounds like you have been the longest military spouse in here. So how about the newest? Who is new to the military spouse life or military life in general? Anybody less than 3 years?
I'm 2 years.
Tammy, was that you? You said you're 2 years?
Yes.
Awesome. 10 years together, 5 years married. Awesome. It's such a different lifestyle, and that's why it's kind of, nice to connect and see where other people are at. Some of us, our spouses don't stay in the military, right? So maybe we do 4 years as a military spouse, and our lives are just so different than others because of this, moving that we're doing and PCSing. And so this is part of the reason I love this event and the Coffee Connections, if you've ever been to those, because we get to meet other spouses who are going through the same things as us that general public doesn't always recognize because they don't live the kind of lifestyle that we do. So it's important to connect with all of the different spouses from different branches. Even if you're Army and Navy, we can be friends. I know there's the rivalry, but it just helps to build our communities and bonds with other women and men. I thought I saw that there was a man in here, at least one, but maybe I think he's hiding off camera. But it's important to build those relationships. So we're going to talk a little bit about self-care, and I wanted to see how do you define self-care? Anybody?
Self-care to me is taking time for yourself and your body and your mind.
Love it. Anybody else want to chime in how they define self-care?
Honestly, with a 3-month-old at home right now, self-care is just like 10 minutes to myself.
Yes, I love that. And I think that's kind of in the direction that we're going too, is self-care doesn't mean I'm getting my nails done every week. I mean, it can be part of it, but that's not all it is. It's taking that time for yourself, even if it's 10 minutes, even if it's 5 minutes, anything that you can do to kind of reset yourself physically, mentally, emotionally. So what are some things that you like to do for self-care?
Have a glass of wine.
Yes. We got coffee with friends, alone time, massages, yoga, shopping, love it. I, of course, have some items on the screen that are really resonate with me, but things that, like cuddling with my cat, I love that, yes. Yoga and gardening, meditating, there's some awesome answers here. And again, self-care really, it's anything that you can do for yourself to help you reset and feel good. And it's important to schedule that in, even if it's a few minutes, but every day, just to make sure that you are, mentally yourself. Hiking. Me too, Chris. I love hiking. I miss the mountains of San Diego. How often would you say that you partake in self-care? I know for me, I have a Sunday routine that I always do my face mask. I do a bath bomb, which, is why we're making them. I love bath bombs. But I make it like a weekly, like I said, some people like to get their nails done or hair or whatever the case is, but Sunday is my day to kind of partake in that. And then working out, I try to do most days. Somebody said they do Saturdays. Self-care always seems like it's the first to go. Yeah. And that is something that we need to change our, mentality about, because we, if we're not doing okay, it's hard to have everyone else around us doing all right. Right. Especially in the roles that we're playing, whether it's you're a parent or even if you're just a spouse, it's a taxing kind of lifestyle with military, with moving, especially COVID and the different stressors going on. So, you definitely want to try and incorporate it, even if it's that 5 minutes. So how do you deal with stress?
I would say alone time. I like watching TV and just having a little bit of time to myself to watch TV, and have my husband watch the kids while I do that.
Awesome. Anybody else?
Well, my husband is deployed. He's been deployed since the end of December. So I get very little time to myself. And I feel like I'm always on edge. Like there's always something that needs to be done. So like this morning, I've already had to cut the grass because I'm not an outdoors person, but the grass has to be cut. So I don't want to consider that self-care, but it kind of was, because that was like my alone time for a half an hour away from the kids, to just kind of think and reflect and get stuff that has to be done. So that was like my stress reliever for this morning, was cutting the grass.
I love that, Christina, because I think what that does too is it's like, this is a task and I have to do this, but you can change your mentality around it so that even though it's a task, it's something that you're able to, like you said, all right, I have some alone time. It's that positive outlook of it. It's just like, some people are really into fitness and some people, that's not their favorite thing, but they try to make that a self-care time where you reset it. It's not, oh, I have to go to the gym, but you have that positive interaction with yourself about the task, even if it, mowing the lawn is not everybody's favorite, but you take those tasks and make them, you find that positive spin on them. Anybody else want to share?
I really enjoy just being outside. So even like if I have the dog and my son with me, my son's in the stroller, so he's calm and strapped in, so he's not running around everywhere, but it's just nice to go for a walk and it's quiet.
Yeah, fresh air and vitamin D is always, I know for me that helps me to de-stress as well. I love that. Somebody said they take their cat outside on a leash. I want you to tell us about that. I want you to come off mute and tell us about your cat on a leash, because that sounds fun.
Hello, I'm the person.
Yay!
who take my cat outside.
I love that.
Yeah.
How did you leash train your cat? I tried and I was not successful.
I actually, my cat is just, oh, do you want to put my leash on me? I don't care. Just, yeah, so my cat is really easygoing. Then I started that in Guam few years ago. Then I moved to Norfolk this year. Then my cat is really enjoying winter and birds, crows, sun, everything. Every single day, I bring him outside. Then my cat just take a walk for at least 30 minutes every morning.
I love that. That's awesome. Fun. All right. So we had some other answers in here: writing things down, spin bike, processing stuff by yourself, watching TV. Yes. Awesome. It is, of course, important, again, to get that time in and to recognize stress as well. So we have busy lives. We have a lot going on, right? So what can we do if we have 5 minutes? How can you take 5 minutes to incorporate some self-care into your day? What are some ideas?
Just deep breathing.
Yes, I love that.
A lot of the time you can just go on YouTube and look up like a quick meditation or something just to get your mind reset.
Love that. I love the stretches, music, deep breathing.
Or maybe a longer shower.
Yes, yes. I always think back to somebody, I don't know the exact quote, but we're all given the same amount of time in a day. We're all busy people. We have a lot going on. But if you just take 5 minutes, maybe start with 3 minutes if you're super busy, just to, breathe, stretch, just to stop everything that you're doing and kind of take a moment to release your stress and kind of get back to your zen. Or find that zen. Maybe you're not getting back there. Maybe you just need to find it. I think we look at how busy everything is going, how we have all these things to accomplish. But again, you gotta be able to just take a moment for yourself, to relax a little, to let go of some of that stress. So
I have some different lotions that I got from Bath and Body Works, like the little sample ones. And depending on like what my day is feeling like, I'll use like the energy one, and just kind of breathe, deep. Sometimes I'll do the lavender based one, which is more soft, like the sleep, I think it's called. And I'll do that one. It just depends on like how my day is going and when in the day I feel like I need to have that 5 or 10 minutes just like to myself. And that's kind of like what kind of resets me.
I love that. And I think you bring up a great point too, of when we are thinking of, okay, I'm going to take a few minutes to myself. I think incorporating different senses into that. So if it is like you said with the lotions, if you use like the energizing one, you're like, okay, like maybe I'm feeling worn out. I just need a few minutes to get to myself. Like you use that scent, which is associated with memory, to kind of let that trigger your de-stressing. I hope I'm saying that the way I want to be saying it. I hope it makes sense. But so instead of just, okay, I'm gonna close my eyes and sit here, like think of, okay, what do I smell, or what can I smell to kind of trigger this self-care moment, or what do I feel physically, again, using all your senses to kind of come to that place of zen. I love your ferret who has joined. Very adorable, Kimberly. Jasmine, I see that your hand is up. Did you have a question?
No, I actually just wanted to say, just add, I actually got recently on Friday, I received it. We ordered it's like a pineapple, but it's like an aromatherapy. And then you just put like essential oils into it. So I feel like having that just has made it really like positive, because I use peppermint, and it's known to help with bad vibes or energy. And I also use the lavender soothing. So I just feel like that helps with my self-care as well.
Yeah, I love that. Do you have a favorite smell?
Yes. So lavender and cedarwood. And then I also like eucalyptus.
I love that. Judith, do you want to talk about the aromatherapy shower spray?
As everybody's talking about the aromatherapy, like, oh yeah. So I actually just ordered them off of Amazon, but they still remind me of like a spa in Las Vegas and like the Bellagio. So I like that. My favorite is the eucalyptus and lavender. They're just amazing. Just a couple little sprays, and I'm like, oh, and that's the Bellagio.
I love that. That adds just such a different sensation, if you will, to, like for me, I know somebody said showering for a few extra minutes, and absolutely, and then something else that we can add to it. That sounds very lovely. Kimberly, I saw your hand up. You can just chat. You don't have to worry about putting your hands up or anything.
So I use the Johnson & Johnson's baby eucalyptus bath in the shower. The relief or whatever it is, the eucalyptus and menthol one. Like as like a de-stress. I don't know why it helps me de-stress or whatever, but I put like a few pumps in the shower before I get in, and it just makes the whole shower smell like really good, and it helps me a lot. So it was kind of like one of my hacks or whatever you want to call it. But
yeah,
it works. I know a bunch of people say like if you put like Vicks Vapor Rub in your shower, like the steam will make it work, but this stuff does the same, and it's not so Vixy. It's not as oppressing as Vicks is when you step into the shower. So it's
yeah. I love that. I've actually never done the Vicks in the shower thing, but that's got me intrigued now too.
Yeah, but it works. It's nice.
What did you say it was called?
Actually, here, let me go grab it real quick and I'll show you.
All right, now while she's grabbing that, Laura, I see that you, and maybe you did this earlier, but I just now saw that you no longer have your mask on. So how does your skin feel after?
Yeah, it feels really good. It feels really soft, like super soft. I haven't done a mask like that for a long time, but usually the ones I buy are quite dry going on and like really thick and pasty, and that one wasn't. It was pretty smooth. And yeah, my skin feels super soft now. So that was some good stuff. But in general, I noticed that everything in the bag was really, you know, good kind of branded stuff. I was excited about the mascara too, because I know that this brand it's cruelty free, and I've heard lots of good things about it. So like all the stuff, and Sephora, which was what the mask brand was, is known, you know, for being like one of the top kind of brands out there. So that was really, you know, exciting that we got some amazing stuff.
Good, awesome. I'm so glad that you like it. Yeah, we work really hard. We put a lot of effort into these events, so it's great to see that people appreciate the work that goes into them. Kimberly, did you want to share your?
Yep. So it's Johnson's Soothing Vapor Bath, just in the baby section. I just put like a couple pumps in the shower before I get in, and then the whole bath smells like the menthol and eucalyptus. But I had it left over from when my son was. I had like one bottle from when my son was born, and then or when my son was like 2, and then I was like, all right, well, I don't want to throw it away, so I had figured out a use for it. And I was like, wait, I used it on him when he was like stuffy or whatever. And I'll start using it for me to kind of help relax me or help me out.
I love that. Does anybody else have any like fun products that they want to share? Like maybe one of their go-tos? Yeah, Jasmine. Oh, you have the vapor rub.
Yeah, so I actually like the smell of the Vicks. This one has eucalyptus, and then it's like a bath. Usually I put this when I do a lot throughout the day, so I just take a bath with it. But it's actually really soothing. I light up candles and try to take a bath, and this is amazing.
I love that.
And it's like little crystals.
Anybody else have anything they want to share?
Yes.
Jasmine.
Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna ask her what aisle she got that in.
So I actually went to, it's by the medicine aisle, where all the Vicks and stuff is, like the ointments and rubbing creams. But yeah. And then they have it in CVS, Walmart. I've seen it all over the place.
So sorry. I was going to, Kimberly reminded me of my son's, he uses the Frida baby drops, and they smell like vapor rub, except it's a lot less pungent. And I actually use these in the bath for him and for myself when I take a bath, because I just feel like they clear up my sinuses, and it's like, it's for babies. But she reminded me, and yeah, this is what I use though.
That's awesome. You know, it's funny because I feel like a lot of the, you know, products that are aimed at babies are so much gentler on their skin. So in turn for us too. So, you know, kind of like that play on marketing where that works just as well for us, you know, and it's probably going to be easier and nicer on our skin. And then, yeah, if you have kids, you get to share with them. Awesome. Well, we're going to go ahead and hop over to the bath bombs. So if you have your bags and you want to grab those, we'll talk about those a bit. One of my absolute favorite self-care things to do is take a bath. So I love all these fun items everyone's talking about. I don't know why I don't have aromatherapy, like the shower head thing, because that just sounds amazing. But I am a candle lighter, like have the candles going, bath bomb, bubble bath, like everything, the whole shebang. And so that's what made me want to do bath bombs with everybody, because they're really easy. And once you've made them they're so easy to make. They're fun to make for yourself or give as gifts. And those things are kind of expensive when you go to the store, like they're kind of popular, I think, right now. So because of that, like the price has gone up, but I want you to know what's in bath bombs and how easy it is to make them yourself. So let's see. I'm gonna hop back on camera so you guys can see me because I feel a little lonely over here. No. So in your jars, and some of them might look a little bit different. Some have different scents, some are glittery, some have lavender flower in there. Is anybody's still like powdery or is everyone's hard?
Powdery.
Yours is powdery. I wonder if it had something to do with the lavender in them. So I'll let you know if yours is hard, then you pretty much have a bath bomb. Woo, what a fun craft. No. But what's in here, and I have the ingredients and everything listed up on the screen, but Epsom salt. And what's great about this, when you make these, there's so many different varieties and opportunities for you to make it your own. This has unscented Epsom salts, but you can of course always buy a scented kind. You can use some of those Vapo crystals that Jasmine was showing. Definitely add those into the bath bomb. Baking soda, super easy to find baking soda. Citric acid, I learned that in the store you can find that by the canning goods. So that's where, otherwise online is of course very easy. And cornstarch. Those are the dry ingredients that you all have in your jars. I did add some sparkly stuff in there, some color and shimmer. That of course is not a requirement, but it does make them a little fun, especially if you're making them. So if you buy the ingredients to do this, you're probably going to spend like $10 to $12 and you'll be able to make like, I don't know, 15 or so. So that makes it a lot cheaper than, those like $7 bath bombs that are amazing at Lush, but you can make them yourself. So then in the little vial is oil, like I said. So we have lavender oil mixed with lavender essential oil. Yeah, whatever, mixed with vanilla. So that's what's in here. If yours is still powdery, you can pour some of this into your jar and then you spritz it with a little bit of water. So I like to just kind of like get my fingers wet in water and then sprinkle it in. You don't want to put too much water because the water will activate the citric acid. And then it's kind of, that's what makes it bath bomb, I don't want to say explode, but that's what makes it do its thing. It's like, I'm thinking of the, in like elementary school when we did those cool volcano projects and it was like the vinegar and the baking soda together. Citric acid is basically dry vinegar. So that's what does it. If yours is hard like mine is, you can still put your oil in there. You just, when you use it, you're probably gonna like dump it, like the whole jar into the tub to use it. But so I'm watching who's doing this. So if you are adding it, what is it looking like for you? Anybody want to share?
I'm only putting the drops in. I haven't mixed water into it. But it just like falls into it and then just blends in. Like you don't even see it.
Mm-hmm.
It smells.
And is yours hard or is yours still like
powdery?
It is powdery. Okay, mine might have just been because it was kind of warm.
This oil in this little container is so good. It smells really good.
It does.
Yes, awesome. So the container that this is in is the shape that you're going to use your bath bomb to be. So you don't have to take it out. I tried to make it as clean as possible for everyone, especially since we're on a Zoom call. But when you do go to use it, like I said, you can either like dip the whole jar into the water and it'll disperse into your tub. If it is powder, then the water, you'll just kind of press into it. So you're going to kind of want it to get hard anyway, and then you let it dry. So like I said, if they're hard, it kind of just already did it for you. And the oil just adds that little bit of soothingness, of course. But what's fun about making bath bombs is you put all the dry ingredients together like this, and then you add those wet, and you can use all different kinds of molds. You can use an Easter egg if you want, which is super cheap. You can pay for the molds if you want to buy them. If you have like a baking dish or silicone kind of dish, you can make them in there. You can make them by the cookie sheet and cut them up after they dry. So there's so many different ways to do it. And like I said, it's such a fun way to save money, and they make great gifts for you and, you know, whomever. So likely nobody can demonstrate using theirs unless they have a jar with them, but feel free to use them. You can let it dry a little if you put like too much water in it just now, just let it dry and then use it, and it should just pop out. So you might just like have to hit the cup or hit the glass a little to pop it out of there. If not, it's still going to go in the tub and work in the same kind of manner. So has anybody here made bath bombs before?
No.
Pretty easy, right? I know I did the dirty work of putting all the dry ingredients together, but
My son actually likes bath bombs. We get bath bombs that have surprises in them, and it's super fun. So I really want to learn how to make bath bombs, so then I won't have to.
Yeah, I have a funny story about that. I didn't know that there was something in my bath bomb, and there was this tiny little penguin floating with me, and I thought, what the heck is that? I thought it was like some creepy like gecko, or I didn't know what it was, and I was like, this is not okay.
That's awesome. Oh my gosh. So when you buy like the bath bomb molds, you just would press this into them. So again, it's I'm sorry that mine is like hard because it doesn't make it easy to demonstrate. But what's cool is like when you buy those molds, you can put like anything in them. Some people, like if you've seen them at the store, you know, like different flowers and stuff that you can put in the middle. Yeah, you can put like little trinkets in there, which is, again, if you're doing like gifts or for the kids, it's a really fun way to change them up. You can add coffee into them, which coffee just kind of helps like give your skin a little like caffeine, which is supposed to be good for it. I've done matcha in mine. It does make my bathtub a little bit of a disaster, but again, that like green tea, the energy and the caffeine of it is supposed to be good for your skin. So there's all kinds of stuff like around your house. It sounds strange, but as long as, you know, it's good for your skin, you don't have any allergies or anything, you can put stuff, just whatever. If you broke open your tea bag, you could put some tea in there that gives it some scent and color too. So you don't necessarily have to buy like the, you know, colored powders or anything like that to get those different looks. There's a lot of natural things that you can do. Julie said ice cube trays are a way to make them. That's absolutely right. Like the silicone trays that you can buy at the dollar store are great because those molds sometimes can be a little pricey. You can put like citrus zest in them to give that like energizing kind of smell and everything. So what I would love to do is take a picture together. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. If you are on camera, thank you. If you're not on camera, if you want to join, I'm just going to do like a fun screenshot because it's, you know, if you want to hold up your bath bomb items or your T-Mobile bag or something that you got in the bag, anything at all. It's just kind of, again, a fun way to share. Let me see if I can get everybody on here. Let's see. All right, let's do 1, 2, 3. Woo, that's a picture. Awesome. Thank you. So not to the prize wheel yet. I'm going to go ahead and hand the mic over, so to speak, to Kayla. So again, feel free to get comfortable. Kayla, if you want to introduce yourself as well, and then we'll get started on mindfulness.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey guys, it is not morning, it's afternoon. Good morning, everybody. How are you? My name is Kayla Arestivo. And I am the founder and executive director of a local nonprofit called Trails of Purpose. And I am honored to be here with you guys. And we're going to talk a little bit about mental health stuff. I think we all said we're military spouses, and some of us are mothers. And so I saw a common theme going on of when we talked about self-care, it was like, not enough of it. Usually it's the first thing to fly off the schedule if I'm busy. So we're going to chat a little bit about it because burnout is a very real thing in this lifestyle now, isn't it? Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and kind of get the presentation up here. So bear with me as I do that, okay? Does everybody see that? Just give me a nod up and down if you do. Okay, cool. All right, so we're gonna practice today the art of self-validation. I am from New York, right outside of New York City on Long Island. I talk with my hands and I talk fast. If it gets a little too fast, feel free to be like, Kayla, slow down, we can't hear you. So the art of self-validation is what we're diving into today. My needs need to be important to me. Like I said, Kayla Arestivo is the name. I am a licensed professional counselor in the state of Virginia. I graduated with my master's in clinical mental health counseling from Liberty University out in Virginia as well. Native, born and raised on Long Island, New York. Husband is Navy, and we came down here 4 years ago, about to the date, pretty much, and have been living ever since here out in Chesapeake. Like I said, Trails of Purpose is a nonprofit, and we offer mental health care with counselors, licensed professional counselors, for free to the military. It is not an insurance-based thing. We do not do TRICARE or any other insurances. And the reason for that is that we can keep everything between us and not have to report to command when sometimes our service members don't want anything going back to command. And so we service active duty, retired, and spouses and children. And we specialize in equine assisted psychotherapy. So it is based on a farm, a horse farm. We have 12 horses in the program in total. And so we do everything from parents and children together, or marriage counseling, or individual counseling. So a little bit about me, and if you guys want to know more or you're interested, I can kind of throw my contact information at the end so that you can reach out. We are based in Chesapeake. We have a location in Chesapeake, and then we have a location in Virginia Beach in the Pungo area. So it's a little bit about me. So, military life. Kristin said it earlier. It is, it's very different than civilian life. And we're talking a little bit about self-care and how to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves. And self-care looks different for everybody, but the concept is that it's something that's filling you up. Not draining you down, it's not exhausting you. It is energizing, and it brings peace and calm to you internally. And sometimes that looks like half an hour of something, and sometimes that looks like 2 minutes of something. I have 2 little ones, and I know what it's like to literally go hide in the pantry for 2 minutes so that they don't see me tearing up and like losing my mind, because I know that that's a real thing. Military life. So validation. Here's what it is. The action of checking or proving the validity or accuracy of something. Declaring something legally, officially acceptable. Recognition or affirmation that a person or their feelings and opinions are valid, or, here's a good one, worthwhile. Now, women who are married to military life. The narrative goes that your desires and your wants and your timeline and your needs come second. Big Navy, big Army, those things usually come first. And so what we want for our family and we have ideas for, sometimes we don't have control over. We're PCS'd somewhere else and we left all of our friends. We're nowhere near our family. We had a timeline for wanting to start a career again or wanting to go back to school. And well, sorry, but because of deployment or because of a new job assignment, it's not happening. And so it feels like our needs or our wants are just invalidated. We just kind of get pushed aside. And over the years, that can kind of be pretty exhausting and draining down. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. A little bit about validation and self-validation. So, stressors for women in military life, conflicts with validation, is that you feel overlooked, frustration with command, things are not in control, the need to maybe prove your worth, your value based on your performance, and not just job performance, but performance at home. How well can you keep it together maybe while your husband's on deployment? How well can I keep the house running and make sure that my kids are fed and going to bed at the end of the night, or keep it on top of everything? Maybe you're also working on top of all of that. And it's a lot to handle on one person. And then, you know, when husband's on deployment or wife is on deployment, and then they get back, and then that's a whole nother thing to adjust to too. And you're like, well, I had something going on here for the last 8 months and we got into a groove, and now you're back and that's going to change again. So you're living in this continual perpetual state of changing to meet something else or someone else. And that's really hard. That's really hard. So here's the results of that. When we're continuously invalidated, what do we do with these feelings? Usually we suppress them. Sometimes we can do something about it, and most of the time we can't. So we just kind of push them down, and the military motto of just put your head down and keep going and charging forward creates this suppression of my needs. I'm going to ignore my needs. They'll come next. They'll come last. If I don't get to it today, then I'm just going to push it off to the side and not worry about it. And feeling of aloneness, you know, we might have like a really awesome group of women. Sometimes we find those right in the military community. If we PCS to a new location and we've got great women, that's awesome. But it's still this feeling of alone and misunderstood. Maybe you're misunderstood from your family, and people who are in the civilian life are just not going to understand the same culture as what you are going through. And you're speaking 2 different languages and 2 different schedules. And it's hard for them to even comprehend, honestly, because they haven't lived it. And you're feeling alone. Or now you're PCSing to a different country, maybe. And now you're quite literally the minority and the alien there. And sometimes there's feelings of competitiveness within this community. If we're going to be really raw, sometimes the military spouse community can go based on ranking or based on, you know, like this, I have to have it all put together and keep it together. Not all the times, but sometimes that's there. And those are the results of continuously invalidating ourselves and saying that my needs don't need to come first. And we run on this like empty tank and we start to burn out. I'm going to backtrack here. Okay, so feelings of anger. We're going to dive into it a little bit here. Ever have a day where you're just like absolutely snappy with anybody? I would say children. If you don't have children, maybe the person who's at the store or on the customer service line or your boss. Does anybody ever have a snappy day? Okay, well, I'm glad I'm not the only one, because you know I can get at it sometimes and I'm like, oh shoot, slow it down, Kayla, that's not fair. So why am I feeling angry? So feelings of anger can be beneficial. We have those emotions for a reason. Anger can tell us, it's the #1 way that we know that we've experienced an injustice. So an injustice can be invalidation. When somebody doesn't understand your needs or your needs are overlooked, that's injustice done to you. And that's your #1 way of knowing I've experienced something wrong to me. I'm angry about it. So sometimes, especially as women, if we're angry, I'm just going to go ahead and say it, it comes across like we're bitchy. Well, it's okay to experience anger. And I want us to tune into when I feel that. And the thought should be, I shouldn't be angry about this. Maybe, why am I angry about this? What's going on behind the scenes
It was
that
upstairs.
makes me feel that way?
Who was my shoes? I mean, I'll come for one.
Did I, sorry. Okay, I was like, wait a minute, I'm missing something. Okay, so we feel angry because we've been wronged. Our needs were ignored. We were not prioritized. We were underappreciated. There's a lack of respect or say in decisions, lack of control, and overlooked. I just want to validate you wherever you're at, because I'm sure out of the 30-something of us that are on this call right now, there's something about the military life that makes you angry. I'm sure for some of us. Maybe it's not you, but some of us are angry or have been angry with the military life, and it's valid. I'm just going to throw that out there. It's okay. It's okay to feel that way. And it shows you that there's something inside you that goes, ooh, this has been wrong for me. And that doesn't make you a bad military spouse or somebody who's complaining, a complainer, or weak or unable to handle the lifestyle, or, oh, I signed up for this. I knew what I was getting myself into. Well, sure, you knew that you were going to marry a military man, maybe he joined after, but you had no clue what that was actually going to look like. So take a pause right there and say, it's okay that I'm annoyed by this, that I don't like it. It's okay that it ticks me off. And, do we want to go around acting just outrageously angry to everybody else? No, but the way that we first start with that is by going, okay, I'm annoyed and I'm angry with that. So just kind of being in awareness of, you don't have to accept it just because you quote unquote signed up for it or knew what you were getting yourself into. Because I want to free you from that today. I don't think that we always know what we're getting ourselves into when we agree to it. So your anger is valid. Your emotions are valid, no matter what they look like. They're valid. Maybe they're not truthful, right? But they're there. So we have to accept that they are there. There's a lot of things in the military life that we are not in control of. There's a lot of things in civilian life that you're not in control of. Here's our locus of control. Spheres of influences that are constantly vying for our attention and things that we should be having a say in. At the core of it, if you're looking at our screen here, is the individual. That's you, and having a sense of control over yourself, over your actions, over your mindset. And I don't know about you, but I would say there's a good percentage of my lifetime that I don't even think I have a great job being completely in control of myself. I know sometimes I have thoughts that pop up that I can't control, those that just kind of come in and I got to go, whoa, what was that about? I got to squash that before that becomes, toxic in my brain. I know that I certainly can't control all of my family members. I can't control my spouse. I can't control school and education. I can't control teachers. I can't control the education system in America. I can't control my friends. I can't control my work setting, churches, media. I mean, if we just look at normal life in the world right now in 2021, it's absolutely, it's insane and it's overwhelming. Right? So we have no control over those things. And then on top of that, normal life stuff, now we switch into military mode and there's we could probably have a whole nother sphere of influences chart just for military. Yourself, the command, you know what I mean? Like all of those things. It's a lot to juggle. And so we get overwhelmed. And so we can't control those things most of the time. So what do we do when we're feeling anger, we're feeling invalidation, we're met at this crossroad with lots of stress and we go, what do we do with it? Well, we can ask a question. We have to ask two questions. The first one is, can I control this? Can I control this? Can I control the thing that is making me angry or the thing that is making me stressed or anxious or nervous or sad? If the answer is yes, I can control it, then we need to problem solve. And we're going to figure out, okay, what can I do to switch it here so that it's not making me feel the way that it is? If we go, can I control this? And the answer is no, then the only way forward is to cope through it. So am I doing this or is this being done to me? I'm willing to bet that 90% of the frustration when you're in active duty military life is this is being done to me. Not that you are doing it, but it's being done to you. So thinking of your top stressor, I wrote in here to write it down. You don't necessarily need to do it right now, but I think everybody on this call, 30 something of us, can think of right now in your life at least one stressor. And if you just kind of take a moment and think to yourself, can I change that? I'd be willing to bet you probably can't. Maybe some of us can, but you probably can't. And so if we can't, we need to learn to cope with it. We talked a little bit earlier about different variables and different versions of self-care. We were talking about baths, we were talking about alone time, we were talking about maybe a glass of wine, time with friends, different type of coping skills. Well, I'm going to suggest to you guys a new type of coping skill that I didn't hear anybody talk about today. Before we get to that, let's talk about some roadblocks to coping. These are the things that keep us from diving into self-care, if you will. They can be abstract, which means it's something that like a feeling or something that we can't see, or it could be concrete, which is an actual roadblock, meaning my toddler had a meltdown and was sick today, so I wasn't able to do the self-care things that help me cope with stress. Examples can be denial. Sometimes we can be in denial that our feelings are what they are. Sometimes our culture, different types of cultures and ethnicities have different ways of coping with stress. Sometimes it could be family, the way that you were raised to deal with your emotions. Sometimes it can be pride. Well, I'm just not going to let it get to me, and I can handle this. I should be able to handle this, which I think not necessarily pride, but it's the thing that we're taught in the military culture is that, right? Like we talked about, I signed up for this, so I should be able to handle this. Fear, if I actually address what's going on here, what's that going to lead to? If I actually address the issues that are going on in my marriage, what is that going to lead to? If I actually allow myself to feel what I'm feeling about my current life circumstances, what's going to happen? Guilt, well, other people have it way worse than me, so I should be able to get this together. Not having the proper tools for coping, confusion, I just don't know how to feel for this thing, or it's just too risky right now. We have so many other things going on. Maybe you have a child who has special needs, and I just can't even begin to think about myself because then I'll start to neglect my children, right? There's so many different roadblocks to coping, but like I'll tell every client in my life, nothing changes if nothing changes. And they make fun of me for it because I kind of get redundant and it sounds silly, but it's the truth. If we don't take action about these things, even in the smallest of ways, they're going to continue to be the giant looming, dark cloud that's following us versus just addressing it. So let's unpack some of these things. So confusion might be indecision. I don't know where to start. I don't even know what to do with all of the stress, with all of the anxiety, with the frustration. I don't know what to do with my emotions. Okay, say I acknowledge them, and then what? I don't have the energy, it's inconvenient. If I start to address something, then I'm gonna have to pour my emotional energy into it. And I just don't have that time nor the energy right now. It needs to go elsewhere. Or this concept of, well, it gets worse before it gets better. If I start to focus on the things that are difficult in life, sometimes it gets worse before it gets better. And that's the truth, but we don't really like to dive into the parts that get worse. So Kayla, this sounds really great. Okay, sure, you're touching on some things that are hot topics and a little difficult to talk about, but what in the heck do I do with them? Here we are. I'm going to talk to you guys about daily inventory. This is the coping skill I was saying that nobody touched upon before. It's kind of a new concept that I find very helpful for myself, and I found has been very helpful for women in the military that I have talked to about this before. It can be done in as little as a minute. Internally, you don't need a journal, you don't need anything. You can do it driving your car, brushing your teeth, whatever it is, you can do it. And it's the way that we can find self-validation. I'm going to skip over this one. And I'm going to go back. So daily inventory, what does that look like? Every day we walk into a store or we go to work or we pick up the phone, and what's the first thing that we say to one another? Somebody shoot it out.
How are you?
Bingo. It's the first thing that we do. Hey, how are you? How's it going? And normally we shoot back something like, oh, good, busy, can't complain. But I don't know that we're necessarily always truthful with that. But it would be weird if somebody in the supermarket came up to you and said, hey, how are you? And you're like, well, let me tell you how I really am. I mean, it might be a little awkward. So on some level, we just don't do it because it's etiquette. But it's the number one thing that we do. We want to know how other people are. It's human nature to go, oh, let's check in. How you doing? How many times a day do you wake up and you go, hey, Laura, how am I today? How's Laura today? How's Kayla today? How's Tammy today? How we doing? It's not. We tend to check in with our kids or our spouses. How was your day? All that stuff. But I don't know that we necessarily check in with ourselves all that often. It's just not something that we do. But it needs to be. So this is daily inventory. This is self-validation. And I'd love to I teach this to be done in the morning and in the evening. First thing in the morning before you get out of bed, last thing at night when you're in bed going to sleep. That's the ideal. And then you plug it in where you need to throughout the day, but it starts to become this, like, just your brain does it naturally on its own. And what it goes is, how am I feeling physically today? How am I feeling emotionally today? How am I feeling spiritually today? How am I feeling in my relationships today? Maybe my husband and I got into an argument last night, so I'm waking up this morning kind of feeling anxious and frustrated, high energy and pent up. So because of that, I slept poorly, and now I've got tension in my neck and I kind of have a headache. You know, psychologically, my thoughts are just all over the place, or maybe I'm hormonal because it's my time of the month. And so that's where I'm at. And just, if I do that and say it's Monday morning at 5 a.m. and I have that conversation with me, before my feet hit the ground, I'm going to know I'm already in a rough place. On a scale of 1 to 5 with stress levels, I'm at 4.5. Now, if my kid at 8 a.m. comes over and starts losing her mind because she wants a circle pancake, but I gave her a waffle, I'm going to understand why I'm a bit more snappy with her than just being irritable and cranky and just like, I'm just having a rough day. I'm going to know ahead of time exactly what's bothering me. How in the world are we going to expect anybody else, like our partners, to understand why we're upset if we don't take the time to understand why we're upset? And then the narrative is we have snappy moments throughout the day, maybe, or we're really withdrawn and we're in ourselves because we're sad. And it's like, well, what's wrong with you? I don't know, I'm just having an off day. But why? How can we find the solution to the things that are plaguing us if we don't even know what is? So it's this concept that we need to start looking internally. We put our face mask, 2021 guys. We put the, on a plane, the oxygen mask over our children, over ourselves before our children, because we got to make sure that we are taken care of in order to better assist. It's the same concept with our emotions. We cannot expect our children or our spouses to respond in healthy manners to us if we ourselves are not responding in healthy manners to us. It's a level of self-respect, right? Like, I'm going to respect myself enough to go, what's going on with me? I deserve to be asked, how are you? I deserve to ask myself, why are you upset today? So that can be done in as little as 30 seconds. And this concept of, okay, well, if I'm driving home from work and I'm doing this in the car and say I'm ticked because I didn't meet a deadline, my boss threw something at me at the last minute, and now I got to go home, I didn't even make any dinner, and then I got to run out the door for parent-teacher conference, whatever. If I'm driving home and I'm sitting in traffic and I can tell that I'm irritated, maybe I can take a second to deep breathe before I get in the door and bring my irritations and my frustrations to everybody else. Or maybe I can ask for help, really quick, give a call. Hey, whoever's at home, I'm not doing so hot right now. I'm gonna need a few minutes to just cool down before I take the kids. I teach some of this stuff, and it's amazing that just a little bit of that self-awareness can help figure out these unwanted behaviors. And sometimes we don't like that we always respond in a certain way. And if we figure out the root of, well, every time that I'm feeling anxious, I respond in this way, we're going to figure out, how can I change that? And it's this concept that if your lifestyle isn't going to meet your needs, and the military is causing your needs to come second, and you feel like you're always being put on the back burner, then heck, we need to start with ourselves and make sure that we are putting ourselves and our emotions at least really important and prioritized to us. This concept of, I put everybody else first before myself. Well, one, that makes you an awesome human being, but it also can make you a really tired human being. So, daily inventory. That's kind of my spiel for everybody, is on top of the coping skills. Maybe do daily inventory when you are taking a bath at the end of the night, or you are having a glass of wine. If we can learn to kind of couple those together so that there's an emotional piece and awareness while we're doing the other things that calm us down, I like to pair it. I teach at the USO outdoor adventure team studio on Little Creek. There's a gym there, and we teach before we get into workouts, that we teach, you know, where are you at right now? Talk to me about your stress level. And I have everybody who's at the gym that morning rate their stress level from a 1 to a 5. And that helps them just kind of understand my physical output isn't going to be as good as my mental output, you know? So I need to make sure that if I'm feeling down in the dumps, that I recognize it, because it's going to correlate to how my body is feeling physically. So if we could kind of couple that together and start to do those daily inventories, we'll have a better idea of self-validation, especially when we can't always rely on other sources to validate us. So we're going to wrap up here now that I just poured some heavy things on you, and hopefully some helpful things with some mindful moments. We're gonna do some deep breathing, just like 30 to 60 seconds of it. And hopefully you guys can kind of take these deep breathing pointers with you. Positive affirmations. I asked a friend the other day, her husband is a Navy SEAL, and I said, how do you talk to yourself? And she's like, well, I think I have a lot of forgiveness and grace for myself. I said, that's really good. But what that tells me first and foremost is that you're very judgmental and critical of yourself. If you're forgiving yourself a lot, that means that you're actually just criticizing and finding the things you're doing wrong. And she was like, oh, shoot, you're right. I do. I really focus on the things that I do wrong first and foremost. And I said, well, let's change that. Let's talk better about, hey, you know what I mean? At least my kids are out of bed. I'm doing the thing. I am managing this. I can do this. Positive affirmations. I talk about all the time how your body follows what you tell it. If you've ever been skiing or doing something and you're like very nervous about falling, sometimes the nervousness about falling down is worse than actually falling, right? But if we kind of tell ourselves, oh my gosh, I'm gonna fall, I'm gonna fall, I'm gonna fall, well, what the heck is gonna happen? We're gonna fall. So let's talk positively to our bodies, to ourselves. I am doing this. I can do this. All of the strength that I need is inside me. I just need to find it. I need to channel it somehow, but I can do this. And just change that and have so much, not just grace for yourself, but like yourself, that we can find that. It might be difficult, but we can find it. And if you're getting stuck there, reach out to me and we will work on it and we will find it. So let's take some deep breaths. Everybody get in a comfy position if you can. Maybe roll out your neck. I hold tension in my neck all the time. If you're comfortable with it, we can just close our eyes. If not, a downward gaze will work. We're gonna be here for like 30 seconds. When we take deep breaths and we have some moments of silence, it allows our central nervous system to slow down. We're gonna go, go, go all the time. And if we just slow it down, our body understands how to naturally bring our hormone levels, our cortisol, our adrenaline back down to a normal baseline, which we don't get very much in today's day and age. So we're going to breathe into the count of 4, hold it in for 4, and exhale it for 4. I'll go ahead and count us off. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold it nice and deep. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold it in your belly. Push it out, 2, 3, 4. 2 more here. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Expand your chest and hold. Push it out, 2, 3, 4. Last one here. Make it deep. 2, 3, 4, hold it and release it. 2, 3, 4. You guys, thanks so much for letting me share with you. I'm sorry I maybe talked your ear off, but I hope it was helpful. And I'll go ahead and type my contact info in the chat if anybody's interested. And I hope you have a good rest of your day and can kind of take some of this with you. Thanks so much again.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kayla. Always a joy to have you in these events. And yes, Kayla, if you can put your contact information in the chat. The other thing I also like to recommend, if you would like to keep connected with any of the other ladies here. I know I've definitely seen some bonding in the chats. We have some, moms and moms to be. We have people, all over Hampton Roads, Central Virginia here. If you want to put any of your contact information to share with any of the ladies, feel free to. I'm going to throw my LinkedIn in there. Everybody also has my work email and always welcome to reach out. So we've calmed down. I feel like I needed that because before this, I was like, oh my gosh, Zoom, it's Sunday, not my normal working day. I have to get out of that weekend mode. And now I'm like, all right, cool, chilled out. We needed that, And what I love too is it takes, 60 seconds of breathing and I don't know, but me, calm down. So now that we're chilled and relaxed, we're going to hype it up a little because it's prize time. We may go a few minutes over 1 o'clock. I hope that's okay with everybody, but we have 4 awesome prizes on the way. So I'm going to share my screen. Everybody, I got your name on this prize wheel, basically. So you'll see your name on there. We'll give it a spin. We'll start with the Dunkin' gift bag first, or gift basket first. So let's see. Can you guys all see my screen? The little spinning wheel over here. Awesome, cool. So for the Dunkin' gift basket, I'm gonna go ahead and spin. Just so you know, it's 1 prize not per person, but you can only win 1 prize. So if you qualify for the first prize, you won't get one of the other, but here we go. All right. So Yvette, you are the winner of the Dunkin' gift basket. So I have your email, of course, because you registered. So I'll be sure to connect with you about being able to pick that up. Just writing this down to make sure I get it right. Awesome. So we're going to remove your name from here and we're going to go for the second prize, which is one of the 2 31 bags stuffed with goodies. The 31 bags do have a bottle of wine. So please let me know if you're not 21, we have to check your ID anyway, but when you pick it up, just let me know. All right, Chris Wood, congratulations. One more for another gift basket with wine, chocolate, more self-care goodies. All right, Amy Gardner, congratulations. All right, and now this is the moment like everybody's been waiting for. I wish I could throw my name on there, but for the spa day giveaway, super exciting, on behalf of Brian Stratton, let's see. Yay, Leslie Rose, our soon to be Space Force spouse. Congratulations. So I will connect with each of you. Again, if you'd like to share contact information to keep in contact with other spouses, I will put my LinkedIn here real quick. Let's see if I can type and talk at the same time. The other thing I want to let you know is, again, with the mask mandates coming down, going into HepCon Bravo, all of that fun and wonderful stuff, we are looking to go back into person for events. These virtual events are fun and wonderful, but it is so much more fun to be together. So if you are ever interested in joining a coffee connection moving forward, there's going to be a coffee connection at, let's see, Fort Eustis, Fort Lee, Langley, Norfolk. I think that's it. So 4 different coffee connections in those different locations. You're welcome to join those. They'll be in person. We usually do like a craft or something and connect. We just did our first in-person one, was it, I think last week, 2 weeks ago. Kids, will, yes and no. You'll have to check with your center operations supervisor. So you can always email me if there's one that you want to go to, and we'll see if kids are allowed. Most of the time it's not a problem. So let's see. Anything else? Any comments or questions or anything anyone's looking for USO wise, or Anything? Awesome. Well, thank you all so much for joining today. Feel free to post pictures of any of your goodies if you'd like online and tag #USOHRCV. If you ever need anything as a spouse or anything at all that I can help you with or direct you to, again, I wear a lot of hats, including ombudsman. I'm always happy to help. Kayla, also a wonderful resource to connect with if you need something. And like I said, others as well. So thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I hope to connect and see you all again soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, Kristin. This was great.
Congratulations, Leslie.
Thank you.
Yay. So exciting. I'll connect with everyone about their prices, but I'll connect with you as well because we'll determine the spa for you. So.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.